Back with another fixing faulty eBay junk video, and this time managed to get myself a couple of Neo Geo AES consoles. Again, they're faulty as usual, but the main reason I got these were to use as spare parts and use as parts consoles. I wasn't too interested in trying to get them repaired or anything like that. Typically when you see consoles in this kind of condition, they're both incomplete, and I'll show you that in a moment, but when you see them in this kind of condition, it usually means that someone that has at least half an idea of how these things work has already picked them apart, decided that they're not worth fixing, and has just sold them on. So I've not got high hopes of getting these things fixed. I really just wanted them for spare parts, but now that I'm looking at them, I'm thinking, well, I'll give it a go and try and get at least one of them working. If I can get one of these consoles running, I can maybe use parts from one of them to fix the other. Yeah, that would be great if I could just get one of them working, but if not, I'm not bothered at all. There's a UniBIOS chip in one of these that's worth pretty much the same amount I paid for both of them, so I'm happy with that if I can't get them running. But the price I paid for them, I'll just show you that right now, £12.50, which is extremely good value for two AES consoles, faulty or not, and £8.99 postage. They arrived today. I'm going to take a look at them in just a moment, but that's a pretty good deal for two AES consoles, even if they're faulty or not. £21.49 in total delivered. So I'm going to take these, I'm going to open them up and take a look at them, and we'll see what kind of condition they're in. Here's the box, and as you can see, it's not the best condition. Royal Mail, or Parcel Force in this case, were pretty rough with it. There's a huge hole on the top. Looks like someone's either stood on this or put a load of weight on it and it's crushed it in. And I can actually already see one of the components on the power board now has been bent over. Hopefully it's not done any further damage to the consoles. If it has, I'll be pretty annoyed, because the seller has actually gone to quite a lot of trouble here to make sure that this has been well packaged. He's put fragile stickers all over it and he's used a brand new box. But anyway, let's get this opened up and we'll see what we're dealing with. Here's the first console at the top, and this is the component I was talking about there. You can see that's been bent over. It was in the corner where that is collapsed in, but overall it looks to be in pretty good condition. It's clean enough and everything. The condition these consoles are in, one of them is missing the top section of the cover, which is this one obviously. So it's missing its top shell, but otherwise it should be in a reasonably untouched condition, I'm hoping. It looks to be okay. And then we've got the next one under here. The second one here is mostly complete. The problem with this is it's missing its power button, or power slider, and it's got a chip missing out the corner here, but otherwise it's in reasonably good condition. It's missing its rubber feet off the bottom. That's easy enough to sort out. And this is the one that's got the UniBIOS chip already installed in it. It looks like a bit of a crazy install job, so I'll need to take a closer look at that. But neither of these consoles are working. The seller listed them as they don't power up at all. There's no power getting to them and they just do not work. So that's all he knew about them. I don't know where he got these from, but I'm going to assume that these have already been looked at by someone like a technician or whatever, and they've decided that they're not worth fixing. But I'm going to hook them up and I'm going to see if I can get any signs of life from them, and if I can maybe get one of them to work, that would be great. If not, I'm just going to use them for parts, and I'll strip the UniBIOS chip out of this one probably and use that for one of my other MVS projects. But what I'm going to do now is hook these up and see if we get any signs of life from them. I've hooked up one of the consoles here, and I've just been pleasantly surprised about what I've discovered. This console I've got connected at the moment is the one that came with the top shell. It's got the UniBIOS chip installed in it. And initially I tried this out without any cartridge in the slot. I just turned it on and it came up with a solid red screen, and it was making a clicking noise, and the red LED, power LED, was coming on the board. So I thought, well, that's not too bad, at least there's some signs of life. Then I tried putting a cartridge in and I turned it on, and I'm now getting this, which is very good. This is the test screen, the UniBIOS menu screen basically, telling me there's an issue with I believe the system BIOS, and that would seem correct considering the crazy wiring job that someone's done on this BIOS chip. Hopefully that's the only issue with it. But even better, and if I get the controller here, and I just hit A to bypass the hardware test, the console actually works. So you can see here, it starts up and the game plays, and there's only one issue that I found so far, and you'll probably be able to, there you go, you can probably be able to hear that. The sound is messed up, but I mean, other than that, it seems to be working fine. I'll just mute this because that's kind of annoying. But if I hit start here, let's see if it works. It seems to be working perfectly. There's no graphical issues or anything. Let's see if I can start a game here. So, I mean, I'm pretty shocked, genuinely I'm pretty shocked. Wasn't expecting any signs of life from this thing at all. And as you can see, it looks great. Buttons all work. Let's listen to the sound again. So obviously the sound is going to need some attention, but I mean, I'm just very happy that this thing is even working at all, let alone, I mean, playing the game. And yeah, I'm genuinely quite shocked that this thing is working. So next thing I'm going to do here is hook up the other one and see what kind of condition that's in. And this one is obviously going to need to be looked over in greater detail. Maybe there's something not connected or something's come loose with that crazy looking install job. I've now got the second board hooked up, and unfortunately this one isn't just springing into life like the other one did. It's not showing any signs of life at the moment at all, but I think I've got a rough idea of what might be wrong with it. And like I said, I've already got the power in the video hooked up at the back there. This board is slightly different to the other one in that it has an auxiliary power circuit attached to the motherboard. I'm not sure why. Some of the earlier versions of AES seem to have this and some don't. I don't know if it's anything to do with it being a PAL console or not, but this is just a little extra power board. Usually in this area here these components would be located, but for whatever reason this one has it separate. I don't know why. Anyway, this is connected up directly to the power switch, which is in turn connected up to the power input at the back of the console. And here you get the input, which is, at the moment it should be 10 volts. You've got an output here as well, which goes to the motherboard. So you turn on, flick the switch here. I presume this circuitry here converts or downsteps the voltage to 5 volts or whatever the motherboard runs on, and then the game should start and all that good stuff. But you flip the switch here and I can read that it's getting the 12 volts, but it's not outputting any voltage here at all, which suggests to me that, well, this is most likely going to be one of the problems with it. This is, I can feel that's basically come completely disconnected from the board. Whether that's happened just because of the transit damage, or whether that's happened previously and that's the cause for it, I don't know. I'll maybe be able to reattach this and then find that that still doesn't work and there's something else wrong with this. Who knows, but hopefully all I need to do is get this circuitry all sorted out, and that will fix the board altogether, because otherwise it seems to be in very nice condition. I don't know if you'll be able to see that too well, but I mean, there's no gouges or scratches or anything on the motherboard. It all looks to be in reasonably good condition. Doesn't look like it's been tampered with or anything. This audio jack is a little damaged. It's been lifted off the motherboard a little there, just from where someone's pulled the motherboard out of the casing, but otherwise it seems fine. Next thing I'm going to do then is have a closer look at the power circuitry on this board, and again I'm also going to break the other board first. Take a closer look at the BIOS chip that's on this one, and there's a few other bits and pieces on this board that need attention. You can see in the cartridge slot there, that's come away a bit, that's cracked at the corner there. Maybe that's what's causing the audio issues, I don't know. But yeah, just take a closer look at both the boards and hopefully get them up and running as they should be, and that would be an amazing deal, because I mean, like £21 for 2 working AES consoles. It would probably be one of my best eBay purchases ever, but we'll see. Fast forward about 20 minutes or so, and I've rigged up something here to just kind of test out and get this board up and running again. And it's a real quick and dirty hack job, but I'll show you what I've done. Basically, I got my PC power supply that I use for my MVS motherboards, and I spliced into the cables in this. I spliced into the 5V output and the ground, and I just soldered some wires onto this auxiliary board that's connected to the AES. So I've just got the 5V output and the ground soldered here, just bypassing this voltage regulator altogether. I jumpered all the connections in this so it was reconnected to the board, but it still didn't work. I suspect that's probably the issue with this AES, it's just that voltage regulator. But if I just get my power supply unit here and flip that on, you'll see that AES is now working, which I am genuinely really happy and surprised about. Literally bought these boards just to use as parts and to strip them down for using at other projects, and I've ended up with 2 more or less fully working consoles. You can see in the screen of this right now there's some interference, and I think that's just because I'm using the external power supply unit here and it's kind of bypassing all the circuitry that should really smooth out the voltages, the input into the motherboard, so it's probably causing some interference, and I won't run it like this for too long because it damages something. But otherwise, yeah, as you can see, the sound seems to be working in this one as well, which is good. But I think if all I need to really do here is just replace this voltage regulator. Maybe some of these other components will need replaced as well, but otherwise it's a fully working system again. And obviously I also need to get the top part for this motherboard. It's also missing the reset button, which does work. And with this one I'm missing the on-off slider, and the corner of this one's a bit damaged, but otherwise it's fine. But if anyone's got a spare power slider or a spare shell for one of these, let me know. I'd be really interested to do a deal or a trade or something. I'm probably going to end up cleaning these up and selling them on because I don't have any real interest in collecting for the AES. I'd like to have one, I'd like to have a big collection of them, but there's just no way I could ever justify spending the cost on some of these games. Some of these games, as I'm sure many of you are aware, will end up running you hundreds of pounds, thousands of dollars, what have you, and to me it's just not worth it when I've got a couple of MVS boards that I can play these games on anyway, so yeah, I'm not too bothered. I'll end up cleaning these up and selling them on, I think, but overall, very, very happy. I honestly just expected to get a couple of parts boards and nothing else, strip them out, use them for other projects, and I've ended up with 2 working AES consoles. And I will need to sort the sound out on this one. I think it's just something to do with the Unibias install there. It looks a bit crazy. Maybe there's a RAM issue with it as well, but I'll do an update video on that when I get round to it. But overall, yeah, very, very happy. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again soon.